everyone? Welcome to the Dr. Quack House Calls. I'm Dr. Quack, and today we've got a special guest for you. This is her first time on a podcast, ladies and gentlemen. I want to bring her on. This is from the different aspect of the professional wrestling world. I want to bring you referee Becky Pence.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello. Wonderful. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing great. Thank you for joining us on here.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I mean, because you're a referee out. You want to tell the people about yourself, where you referee, and how long you've been doing it, Stutch?
I've been refereeing going on 4 years in September. I work for XVW, which is Extreme Valley Wrestling. I've been doing that. Feels like forever, actually. But nonetheless, I wouldn't trade it for nothing.
I can see, yeah, you're definitely like you're enjoying it. So what made you want to become a referee? Is that what the goal was when you first entered, like wanting to get into pro wrestling, or how'd that go down?
My initial goal was to be a wrestler because when I was 14, I looked up to Lita, Trish Stratus, Victoria, all those ladies who paved the way for somebody like me to come in. And then my first week of training, I suffered a neck injury, and that was a few setbacks. And then I was offered a position to come back as a referee, and I took it and ran with it.
Got a comment here from our friend Old School. Darn ref, when I was managing, always yelling at me. Isn't cheating if you don't see it. It isn't cheating if you don't see it.
The way I look at it, if the ref doesn't see it, it's really technically not cheating.
I totally understand that. I mean, that makes a lot of sense. So you wanted to be a professional wrestler, but you transitioned into refereeing. Was there different training for you as far as being a referee versus a wrestler?
For the most part, we went through the motions of training me to be a wrestler, and then I just when it got to the harder part, I just kind of cut myself off at the path, and then decided to try separate training for reffing.
Yeah, I mean, because you got to be able to call the action. You know, as a referee, you handle a lot more responsibilities in that ring than people realize. You're not just, not seeing the action over there, but if there's something going on, you're usually talking to one wrestler or another. Like, you might have a loose board or something in the ring.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, most of the time, if there's for some reason I'm not paying attention to a certain part of the match, it's either planned or they're telling me to say something to someone else, or they're telling me something's wrong with the ring.
And you're starting to see it more nowadays. You're having a female referee out there. I got a question for you personally. Have they made you take a ref bump? Like, have they put you out of the match?
I've taken quite a few bumps over the years.
Really?
Honestly, a lot of them, yes.
Like, have they just clotheslined you? Have they done more in the ring?
I've taken clotheslines. I took what's called an avalanche. I've taken body slams into thumbtacks, all kinds of craziness.
Wow. And they're throwing this you as referee, they're throwing you in the thumbtacks. That's pretty wild.
Yeah, it was crazy.
And you've been doing this for 4 years. Have you had any major injuries or effects from this that have kind of helped gotten to you?
Not really, because before I got into wrestling, my body's been beat up anyway. But as far as wrestling goes, nothing major that I can't bounce back from.
Okay. Oh, here we go. Got another comment here. Always try to tie their shoes for them, but they say it's not allowed. I'm cheating.
Oh, well, I mean, it could be.
Yep, definitely. Hello, Kitty. Yes, that would be B. She is out there relaxing here.
She's enjoying the podcast.
Yeah, she loves to relax up there. But okay, so you've been doing this for 4 years. Let's say the next 5 years, where do you see yourself at in professional wrestling?
Hopefully I'm still actually being a ref, and hopefully I can own my craft a little bit better, and hopefully maybe AEW, maybe WWE. Who knows where I'm going to end up in the next 5 years.
Oh, here we go. Hardest thing you've ever done as a ref.
Oh, shoot. The hardest thing as a ref is, I don't know, having to throw a match out when you know it's the wrong situation, but you know you have to do the right thing as a ref.
Yeah, that can make a lot of sense. I mean, you may have had those situations before where wrestlers have been told this is the finish and they don't cooperate correctly with that finish, do they?
They don't. There's sometimes where they'll tell me last minute, hey, instead of doing plan A, we're going to go to plan B. I'm like, okay. And I usually just roll with it and just see how it works out and how it ends.
Oh, here we go. We got another one here. Lindsay Kidd, worst call you've ever made as a ref?
Oh, that's a tough one.
This crowd will give you the tough questions.
Oh yeah. Worst call I've ever made is probably, there was a match where I accidentally rung the bell before the match was actually over because it was looked like a 3 count, but then there's like, no, it wasn't a 3 count. So I'm like, I just had to call it the way it was and just roll with it.
Okay. What was your favorite match that you got to ref and why?
I would say when we did Dayton Mania this past year over at Odd Bodies in Dayton was my favorite. I did a first blood match, and that was crazy.
That sounds well. There we go. Oh, you're getting a lot on there. Worst fault you have taken as a ref?
Here recently there was a splash in the corner that I took. I didn't have enough time or enough room to move where I needed to move, and I took the full brunt of it. Felt 2 of my ribs crack.
Oh God. So, and you're married, right? Of course.
Yes, of course.
Yes. And how does your husband feel about you refereeing?
He stands behind me 100%. He used to wrestle actually, and he retired because he blew his knee out a couple years ago.
So he's very supportive on what you do.
Yeah, he's been trying to show me along the way what to do as well when I'm not in training. He's been helping me, telling me, say, hey, do it this way instead of this way. It works.
And that's good because you got a coach there, and he's able to work with you, and you're able to come out there and do it well. So mainly you've been doing the referee. You've been a referee around in Ohio. Where else have you been?
I've been to Supreme Wrestling in Indiana, which was this past year as well. That was huge for me because it was my first out of state booking that I've ever taken, and the wrestlers, the locker room they took to me like it was nothing.
That's really a good thing. So, I mean, what's it like being a female referee, walking in that locker room when you're having to deal with other wrestlers and promoters and the booker and all such? Walk me through that.
A typical day for me in the locker room is I come in, sit my gear bag down, write out the match cards that I need to, and talk to the people that I'm reffing for. Get with the promoter, make sure everything's good, make sure he wants what he wants to do, basically, and I just go from there. And sometimes it's pretty smooth. My locker room, the XPW locker room, is a great group of guys and gals that we have. They're just so amazing.
Okay. Now, here's one. I got one for you. I like to ask some of these questions. Best rib you have seen in the business somebody do, or you've done yourself?
Trying to think. There's really none that really come to mind right now because I've seen so many.
Give me one of the funniest ones you've ever seen somebody do.
That's a hard one, actually. Trying to think back in my memory.
Okay.
I can't even remember.
Yeah, I mean, people do a lot of crazy stuff in that locker room. Trust me, I have seen it. People putting shaving cream in people's boots and, doing all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, they do.
But yeah, favorite person to work with?
There's a few, but I think one of my favorites would probably be Ari Alexander, because she's started about around the same time I did, maybe a year or two before me. And I think she's going to do great in what she's doing. Eric Fallon is another one. There's just so many. Nate McClain's another one. He's an up and comer as well. He's really good at it, what he does as well.
Okay. Yeah, by all means, folks, if you have any questions, feel free to ask them. This is referee Becky Pence. She is a referee out in Ohio. Definitely getting her perspective on a lot of great stuff. Yeah, so what I want to do, I want to move in. I want to shift some gears here real quick. I want to talk some professional wrestling on the major level. Do you watch today's product?
Off and on I do, but not too often.
Yeah, I mean, do you have like a preference to WWE or AEW or NWA or New Japan? There's a million of them out there.
I like a lot of the NWA, some AEW, some WWE. I like a variety mix of it all.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. So Ronda Rousey is making her return back to the wrestling world here, starting in ROH. What's your thoughts on that? Do you think she belongs in the business? Do you feel that she's a good fit?
Honestly, I think she's a better fit with AEW than she was with WWE, and I think that they can go a better direction with her in AEW than WWE could ever do with her.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. That may be true. Just a couple more headlines I want to talk about, because Randy Orton returning or CM Punk returning to the WWE, which one actually excites you more? Or do either
honestly, I've been a fan of Randy Orton forever, so I'm kind of pulling for Randy Orton, but I kind of want to see what CM Punk can bring to the table this time around as well. So it's kind of in between.
Okay. Oh, I got a comment here. Here we go. She's the reverse CM Punk.
Oh, wow.
I'm telling you, people are wild.
That's a good one.
Now here, this is a wild one here, because this weekend they've had an issue, and this has happened in the past. Asuka got off the airplane, and a bunch of people came up and asked her for an autograph. Didn't want them to personalize it, so I'm guessing those were guys that wanted to sell it afterwards and probably try to make a profit. How do you feel about fans? As fans come up to you and ask you for autographs, and how do you handle that situation?
They come up to me during the intermission or after the show and say, "Hey, can we get a picture?" I'm like, I'm all for that, but if it's like on our downtime, then I'm like, I'll do it, but I'm kind of hesitant as to why they want to do that on my personal time. But I'm one, like, if it really means that much to them,
yeah,
why not? Why not do it?
If you're out to dinner and somebody came up to you and was asking for your autograph, would you give it to them?
I would tell them, give me a few minutes, and then I'd probably walk over and give them the autograph and picture and go from there.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that makes a lot of sense. But I got a few rapid fire questions here I'm going to ask you before we hop off. Okay.
All right.
Your favorite match to referee? Oh, look, here we go. Look, can I have your autograph? See, look, somebody's already in there.
My favorite match of all time, probably no DQ matches, hardcore matches, things like that.
Okay. Do you have a favorite person you like to referee?
Honestly,
a feud.
Honestly, I like reffing for everybody, but there's that few that's just kind of a headache, but I just work through it and take the rap later, honestly.
Yeah, you know how you had like Joey Morello, they always pointed him at Hulk Hogan. They were like, that's his referee over there. Are you anybody's kind of like that?
Not that I'm aware of, but I don't know. I mean, I could be somebody's favorite ref. I'm not really sure on that level.
Yeah. See, there's Dwayne Glidwell, excuse me. I love the fans. I mean, definitely. We all love them. I mean, I'm thankful for them. If anybody ever comes up to me and starts talking, I love doing that. It's been a while since I've been in the ring, but I definitely enjoyed it. Mm-hmm. You know. And finally, here we go. So this is an off-topic question. Your favorite Christmas movie?
Oh, that's an easy one. My favorite of all time, it's Nightmare Before Christmas because it's Halloween and Christmas mix. So that's my all-time favorite.
So
Because I
you
have
love
some
Halloween.
Halloween and Christmas are my two favorites.
Die Hard. See, Die Hard's being brought up in the comments.
Oh yeah, totally forgot about those.
See, I mean, a lot of them out there, you know. But here, I'm going to ask the other half of that since you brought it up. Favorite scary movie? Because that's me. I love my scary movies, and I figure I might as well ask.
My favorite scary movie probably be oh man, the Friday the 13th or the Nightmare on Elm Street. It's a toss up between them.
Yeah, those are awesome. So where are we going to find you next?
XPW has some things in the works right now. We have a building in an undisclosed location right now that we are working extremely hard on. The guys and the gals are working extremely hard on it, and I'm very proud of them. We should be coming back hopefully within the next couple, well, around December sometime, hopefully.
Okay, so yeah, be on the lookout for that. Check that out. And I'm sorry. What were the call letters? I forget. I'm sorry.
XPW.
XVW, yes, Extreme Valley Wrestling, yes.
Yeah.
Make sure you check them out. I know in the Ohio area, definitely. But my next guests are coming up here Tuesday. We're going to have a special showdown interview with PPF. We're going to have the man, and we're also going to have Dqhc. Make sure you check us out on Tuesday. I'm Dr. Quack. Thank you, Becky Pence, for coming on here. Oh, I got one more. I'm going to let this go. Here we go. We got one more by the buzzer. What's the hardest match you've ever had the ref for?
The hardest match I've ever had to ref for was the last match that my husband wrestled. Actually, I had to ref that match, and that match was hard because it was hard not to play favorites, but I had to be straight laced down the middle, not call it on his side, not call it on the other guy's side, just be 100% fair to either guy.
There we go. Definitely. Thank you for coming on here. I'm Dr.
Thank you.
Quack, and we will see you on Tuesday.